Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Nikki. In today's video, I will be doing my August 2023 budget and showing you how I'm saving money and staying on track with my finances. So let's get right into it. The first thing I do is I take out my budget workbook. Y'all know I have budgeting workbooks available on my Stand store. I will leave the link to it down below if you do choose to purchase it and want to start your budgeting journey. I put my budget workbook inside of a happy planner. That way everything is organized and it's all in one place. I'm a content creator as well, so I usually create content in my happy planner. So everything is actually in one place. I don't have to use a notebook for content, a notebook for finances and things like that. I just like to keep everything all in one place using one notebook, and it's a little bit cheaper doing it that way. But the next thing I do is I use my undated monthly calendar. So if you're just beginning your budgeting journey and you're starting maybe in the middle of the month, you can start your journey at any given time because there's no dates on it. It's undated. You can start it as soon as possible. So what I do is in that month, so we're going in the month of August, I'm going to write out all of the dates in August. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to list all of my bills and I'm going to put it on the dates that it's due. And I'm going to put the highest amount that that bill has ever been. This way I'm able to basically save, because if I'm budgeting at the highest amount that this bill has ever been, then sometimes it's not that amount. I'm able to save money from that amount because I'm budgeting at the highest that it's ever been. Y'all know every single month it varies month to month. So some months you're gonna have bills that may be higher in the summertime. Say for instance, your electric bill may be higher in the summertime, being that you're running the AC a little bit longer, and then in the wintertime your gas may be a little bit higher if you're running the heat and you're using gas in the wintertime. So those things that it kind of forces you to save money. Then the next thing I do is I write out my paydays. And since I'm a budget by paycheck type of girl, I usually highlight all of my paydays and I highlight all of the bills and expenses, and because this allows me to see with that paycheck what bills need to be covered with that paycheck. And then if I don't make enough that with that paycheck, I'm able to see this ahead of time and I can plan accordingly. I get paid bi-weekly, so my pay dates varies. It's just every other Friday. So sometimes I know that in the beginning of the month, that's where I spend the majority of my money. And then I know with my second paycheck, I don't spend hardly anything, not even $1,000 most of the time. So what I do is I leave money from that paycheck and I have it rolling over until the next paycheck, because I know that majority, my bigger bills are in the beginning of the month. And you writing this down and actually seeing this ahead of time, because usually I create my budget like mid-month during the previous month. That way I can plan accordingly. I can see it in advance and I have time to do what it is that I need to do if I'm not able to, make the funds or make the payments and things like that. So this actually helps you actually see what needs to be taken care of and how much is needed during those time frames. The next thing I do is I list out my monthly goals. I'm always going to create some monthly goals for myself because I'm a person that's trying to get out of debt. I'm still saving money. I'm trying to purchase a home and things like that. And right now, currently, I'm just saving money. I'm trying to keep my bills and expenses below $3,000 so that I can use that extra money to pay down the credit cards, because that's the thing that is holding me back from purchasing a home is high utilization on my credit card. So right now, currently, I think I'm in like 60 something percent. I need to get down to 10% at least. 5% is the goal, but if I can at least get down to 10% by the end of the year, I will be so freaking happy. That's how I normally create my budget for every single month. Then the next thing you want to do is actually write out your categories. Now, I don't suggest you have more than 10 categories. I have a lot. I usually would start with like the main ones, which are rent or mortgage, utilities, transportation, and food. Those are like things that you absolutely need. You cannot really go without. And those are the main 4 budget categories you want to stick with. If you have anything else outside of that, like I do, I normally separate everything else into categories as well, such as my debt payment, my subscriptions, my sneaker budget, if you call it. I also have like a savings and investing category as well, because those are things that are important to me and that I want to keep track of. So it allows me to actually see, okay, well, how much am I actually spending on utilities? How much am I actually budgeting for food? So if I need to cut some expenses somewhere, I can look at these categories and say, okay, well, do I actually need $400 to go towards food? Because last month I only spent $300, and the month before that I only spent $350. So maybe I can cut some expenses in the budget, in the food category this particular month, because I'm not really utilizing the whole entire budget that I've allocated for that budget category. So you really want to like separate your bills and expenses into categories, so that way you can see exactly where your money is going for one and where you're spending the most money. Usually, majority of the time is the most money is being spent on food. I know for myself, because I love to eat out, you guys. I also try to set aside a budget for my groceries, but I don't do a whole lot of cooking. So I know that I budget $400 on food, but 9 times out of 10, I'm not really spending that whole entire $400 on groceries. So I may need to cut back on my grocery budget and allocate that extra money maybe towards eating out, because I usually go over the eating out budget. Then the most important thing is when you are actually paid, you want to be able to write down all of these bills and expenses and everything that you said that you was going to do on that monthly calendar. You want to plan it out on your paycheck. So when you actually get paid, you want to write down the actual amount that you receive, and then you want to list out all of your bills and expenses that you had budget for, that you put on the calendar in those colors. If you highlighted your colors like how I did, you will write down all of the bills and expenses within that color. And then you want to subtract that bills and expenses from your income. And if your number is a positive number, then that money could actually go towards your goal. So for me, my goal is to save $500 every single month, and I do that by just automating my stuff. So what I do usually with my accounts, I have everything going to separate accounts. This way I know that I'm actually saving money. I know that bills and expenses are getting taken care of, and I know I have money left over for my other types of spending, like sneakers. So here's what I do once I'm paid. Once I'm paid, $1,500 goes into my checking account for bills and expenses. So that's going to be my rent, my utilities, that's going to be the groceries, that's going to be my gas, that's going to be all of those main categories that I had told you guys before, even my credit card payments and things like that. Then I have $250 going into my savings account. That way I'm able to meet the $500 savings goal at the end of the month. Depending on how many times I'm paid that month, because in the month of September, I'm actually paid 3 times. So instead of me saving $500, I'm actually going to be saving $750, but I'm still saving money automatically, and it's always going to be met because I have it automated. Then whatever is left over from my paycheck is actually going to go into I call it a fund account. So this money is usually used for spending money on shoes, when I'm hanging out with my friends, when I'm going to a restaurant, all of the stuff that I really don't account for in my budget, that goes into I would say, variable spending account. So that way I'm not going over budget within my main bills and my main expenses and things like that. I'm also saving money. I have money coming out of my paychecks for investing. Y'all already know that that's automatically taken out even before money even hits my banking account. So I feel like I'm doing all of the important things, and then whatever I have left over, even if it's just a couple of $100s, I'm able to just like treat myself to do whatever it is that I want to do with that amount of money. Now lately, since I said my goal is to become debt free and to get these credit cards paid down so that I can purchase a home and things like that, I've been usually splitting that money into two. So say for instance, if it's $500 going into that fund account, I'm going to split it in half, and I'm going to put $250 towards extra debt payment, and I'm going to give myself $250. It may be a pair of shoes I want that month. It may be that I want to go out, or it may just be I just want to have some money in that account, because like right now, currently, I have money still left over in that account, and I'm just like very surprised because I really haven't been really doing as much spending like how I usually would be doing. So that's very important, but that's more of an advanced level. If you want to get to that level and actually separate your expenses into different accounts, then yeah, you could do it that way. But that's all for this video, you guys. I have showed you how I actually budget for the month of August, and I showed you how I'm able to save money and stay on track of my budget by separating it into different banking accounts and things like that. If this video brought you some value, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I post videos over here weekly. I will leave the link to my budgeting workbook down below, just in case you're starting your budgeting journey, you're new to it, you don't know where to start. It's a simple workbook. It's straight to the point. It's easy to just navigate and things like that. Also, what I did find out, I found out that my budget workbook could also be digital. So for the digital girls, the girls that are not into like printing out paper, don't want to really use paper, this notebook could be, or this workbook could be used digitally. All you have to do is just save the PDF to your files, and then download the GoodNotes app, and then open it up in GoodNotes, and then you can actually write on it with your Apple Pen or whatever type of pen that you use, with your iPad or whatever, and it becomes digital. So if you are interested in that, like I said before, I will leave the link to it down below. And happy budgeting, you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I do a lot of my my budgeting videos on TikTok, so follow me over there. I will leave the link to my social media accounts over there, down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.